Can you guess the diagnosis? We've got a 26-year-old woman presenting with chronic feelings of emptiness and unstable relationships. So when I read this first sentence, it really makes me think about borderline personality disorder. And this is a disorder that I think is really misunderstood and has a lot of negative stigma, and I really don't think it should be that way. Now, there could be other things that could present with chronic feelings of emptiness and relationship issues, like other personality disorders, mood disorders, substance use even. When I think about borderline personality disorder, I think about three sort of categories of problems: unstable mood, unstable sense of self, and unstable relationships. And in a real patient, we would ask many more questions and flesh this out, and so this is really just a guess. And I think what's really misunderstood is that borderline personality disorder has a lot of genetic factors, and there are abnormalities in how different brain areas are functioning that lead to or predispose people to developing these symptoms. It's also associated with trauma, and definitely growing up in an environment where people have been a victim of trauma or chronic invalidation can make them more prone to have difficulties with relationships and regulating their own mood and understanding their sense of self. But I think it's important for people to know that this is not a character flaw. This is a problem like other medical problems that can just happen to people. And the good news with borderline personality disorder is that treatment is very effective. And the most effective treatments are therapy treatments, especially dialectical behavioral therapy, which can help people learn skills that help them better navigate managing their own emotions and relationships and finding a life that's worth living. So that's what I think this is. Let's look at some of the other symptoms that are here. It's been a pattern since late teens, seeking help after a recent breakup triggered overdose gesture, and these patients may have trouble with chronic suicidal thoughts and attempts. Patient reports friends say she runs hot and cold, idealizing then cutting them off. Describes frantic efforts to avoid being left, which is a key feature, fears of abandonment, plus identity shift and impulsive spending sprees, old linear scars visible on forearms, suggesting trouble with self-injury. There's no history of discrete manic episodes, mood shift lasting hours, always tied to interpersonal stressors. And this is a critical rule out of bipolar disorder when you're looking at mood instability. And one thing I'll note is that sometimes these problems can occur together, and that you can have both bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. Having one doesn't rule out the other. In my view, a diagnosis should be something that's empowering, that helps us recognize what might be going on with a person and helps us find treatments together that really work. And that's why it bothers me so much that there's such a negative stigma associated with borderline personality disorder. Being able to talk about it in a way that's non-judgmental and empowers people to take steps that improve their lives is really important. What are your thoughts about borderline personality disorder? I'm curious to talk about it.